Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the pre-market live show. Today is Wednesday, September 3rd, and we'll look and see what the map looks like. Apple and Google are flying up there. But all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. Always do your due diligence. How is everybody this morning here? And there is your heat map. Look at Google and Apple right there. Let's just look at our SPY and Big Caps Mag 7 real quick. Look at that SPY jumping back up like we were talking about, guys. Like I said, it could easily fly right back up today. And here we go. So we're going to see this little bit of pullback, but it's not going to be anything too drastic here. So I just think it's going to be an easy pullback. It's letting the charts pull back a little bit more for these next week or two. And then holy cow, it's going to get ripping, guys. You can already see it. And again, they're going to drop the rates, even if they're already factored in to the prices in the market. They're going to drop the rates, and that's going to help out big time right there. Let's look at Apple real quick. Look at that thing jumping up there. It was jumping up yesterday at the end of the trading hours. And Amazon, that's moving up a little bit this morning, not looking too bad. Google's jumped way up there. That popped up yesterday as well. And there's your Meta is looking pretty good this morning and popping back up. Thought that might dip down a little bit more, but it's staying around the 50 right there. Even Microsoft is dipping down, but it looks like yesterday could have been its bottom right there. Maybe it has a little more pullback, like I said, as it gets set up for that 20. But it's not looking bad. I don't think we're going to see huge corrections here. And the video also looks like it could have possibly been bottoming out right there. So Tesla right here looks like it wants to jump back up. So I'd say the Mag 7 looking pretty good. We'll go through the rest of them in a few moments. Let's look at our Joey's jumpers real quick, but I did want to look at them SPY Mag 7 real quick because, like I said, they are looking pretty good this morning, and yesterday everything was pretty down. And it's like I said, any of these dips are going to be opportunities. That's for sure. AEI, we were talking about it last night a little bit. AEI, or maybe it was on a chat. I don't even remember. But this thing was jumping up there yesterday. I already know it was running up in the after hours, and then it continued its way up a little bit this morning right there. Nubaru right here, BURU, Nubaru, and this thing was trying to spike up yesterday, not looking bad, but then it was running up a little bit today, pulled back a little bit. We know that story. That's what they all do. GEG did the same thing. That's why if you're not trading at 4 a.m., which we will all be up at 4 a.m., doing the 4 a.m. warrior thing very soon here. But yeah, if you're not and they spike up like this, you almost know the next morning they'll spike up and then pull back a little bit. Sometimes they get over them highs, but not every time. This HWH was a huge runner yesterday. It was trying to spike up this morning a little bit, but then it's pulling back. You'll probably see some pullback there. IPDN was also spiking up, and it didn't get as high as yesterday. It's still in the top, though, so maybe that one will try to run up a little bit more. NAMM, NAMID Minerals right here is running up a little bit. Let's look at this one, NAMM. And yeah, that ran up yesterday, run up today. Could try to run up a little bit more right there. And OPAD, we've been looking at this one, OfferPad Solutions, and that's trying to run up a little bit. Not looking bad. Of course, Open Door right here looking good over $5, and we gave that one out yesterday. And PAVS right here, that one ran yesterday. It looks like is that yesterday's date. It sure is. And it ran from 69 to 174 right there. That was a big run up and then came back down. But that was PAVS and doesn't look like it wants to run at the moment. And STI right here ran up pretty big this morning. Saw that one 425 to 883. And it's at 797 right now. So that one was looking pretty good this morning. And how about you grow? And that one was growing up yesterday, Urban Grow, and it is just pulling back a little bit right there. URG right here is popping up. Your Energy, and there you go with that bad boy. That's not looking too bad. And again, the energy sector, gas and oil and all them looking good. And UUU was running up yesterday and just a little bit of pullback today. And there you go with your Jolie's jumpers. Thank you very much. Asian Jolie, greatly appreciate them. And let's go ahead and see what the rest of the market's doing. Like I said, we already looked at our Mag 7 and SPY, and it was up this morning. Holy cow, I almost just spilled my water. And so there you go. It's looking a lot better. It's hitting back on that resistance. Will it get back through right there is the question. So I don't know if it's ready, but it's going to stay around here and be bullish anyway. So we're not really that concerned. We know we're going to see a little bit of pullback here, and it's not going to be too bad. So let's go ahead and look at the rest of our big caps that we look at. AMC getting set up right here, guys. I think that bottomed out possibly yesterday. I know GM was not one we look at, but that's pulling back. But GameStop's looking good. It was up a little more, hitting resistance right there. And that one's not looking bad. So, like I said, they're going to get set up. Here's our Chewy, and this had a little pullback to roll off that MACD and run up higher. And good old Unity right here is looking not bad on that trend line, jumped up a little bit. So it hit the 20 yesterday and popped right up. I'm telling you, this market looks really good right here. Netflix pulled back just a little bit, looked like it bottomed out there yesterday. And AVGO, that looks like it had a little bottom out yesterday. It has earnings coming up right here. When is the earnings? Isn't they Tuesday or something? No, they're today, tomorrow, as a matter of fact. AVGO has earnings tomorrow, so that's going to be a very interesting one right there. And MU right here bouncing back up, so it never got under that trend line. So that was a good look. TSM was dipping down, and it's jumping back up this morning right there. Again, it's way under, so we'll see if it wants to curl back up a little bit more and bounce off that MACD and just do a couple bounces as it gets ready. But we know when they're under, we have to know exactly when they're going to curl through right there, and we'll get that look. And SMCI, similar look to TSM, so they're pretty much playing the same game right there. AMD right here looks like I'm telling you, this thing's getting super bullish, and that 20 is going to come down and pull it up right there. So that's going to get set up. QCOM has been bullish and looking pretty decent, and that wants to roll off that MACD. And there's a snow running back up, and that thing's going to run right back up into the top. So I don't think we had very bad pullback right there. It was actually great opportunities, and you're going to see them jumping around, obviously, and a little bit of pullback here in the next few weeks as they get set up to get rolling. You can see them just getting set up. And PayPal right here is another one getting set up. So the market is going to get popping, guys. And here's Intel going to get rolled off that MACD. Excuse me. And looking pretty good right there. And there's Dell, looks like it pretty much bottomed out, and of course it's not rolled through yet, so we could have a couple bounce downs, but that's not a big deal. IBM, we already know, is getting set up. We're going to see that roll right off, and that's going to get popping, guys. IBM, so be sure to be looking at that one right there. And how about Palantir right here, up $1.06 at the moment, and that one looks like it made a base. Could it level down? It could, but I don't think it wants to. I think the 20 is going to come down. It's going to meet it in that channel, and it should be pretty good is what it looks like to me. And Sophie right here is in that channel looking pretty good, and we'll get set up, maybe a little pullback there. Mara and Riot, these things are setting up. Crypto's looking good, guys. Look at Riot running up here, and CleanSpark as well. That's another one looking pretty good right there. So that one has the 20 about to pop it up on there, and looking pretty good for CleanSpark. MicroStrategy. Excuse me, I don't know what's going on. I'm telling you, my allergies have been killing me the last couple of days. I guess we're getting into that fall allergy season. Anyway, MicroStrategy up a little bit this morning. I'm not sure if it wants to cross through, but could have some little bounce downs. So obviously it is setting up right here. I don't think it's going to level down a whole lot. Maybe it comes down a little bit more, but I think MicroStrategy is getting set up to run. And Robinhood right here looks like it bottomed out a little bit. And another one getting set up, obviously was in the top there for a while, pulling back, making some good room, and didn't even really dip that hard. And that's what we love about this market. Coinbase is going to be looking really good right there. And Bull is getting bullish as well. So you can keep an eye on that one if I can get back to it right there. And there's Bull right there. And it looks like that bottomed out yesterday. So you have a lot of them that dipped down yesterday, coming back from the holiday weekend. And that's why I didn't want to hold anything over the weekend, guys. But then you got some great opportunities going around all over the place. So that's why we do go through the market every single day and pick out what's going to be looking good and what's popping. Boeing right here, that was space anyway, and that's just getting set up. It has a little bit of time right there to just jump up over the MACD. It does look pretty good, but has a little bit of time, it looks like. And Boeing's definitely getting set up there. DJT not looking bad this morning. And remember, this thing had been getting set up right here. And you can see it's going to keep rolling off that MACD and looking pretty good. So I would say the market's in pretty good shape, and we're about to have some fun because that thing is getting ready to rock and roll. McDonald's was looking really good yesterday, and it is just kind of flat this morning. And how about our Disney right here? That is looking really good to run up. Oxy has been running up. Maybe get a little pullback as it wants to bounce back up right there. And Exxon Mobil right here is down. Another one that has recently run up, hitting that trend line to probably set up and bounce up a little bit higher right there. So there you go with our big caps and them guys. I'll look at that DXYZ right here and then take a look and see what else is going on in the market. Let's see, DXYZ. And that thing, I'm telling you, this thing's going to be getting set up relatively soon right here. You're just going to have these bounce arounds, and that's going to be pretty good. And what is Nike up to this morning? That had taken a nice dip as well. They have a dividend. Was it yesterday? Dividend is today right there. So maybe a little more pullback on Nike, and we'll find that spot right there. And let's see what else is going on in this market right now. The companies where investors have the highest hopes and dreams have some predictable and surprising results. U.S. long bond yields test 5% again, and the stocks find footing as global bond sell-off slows. Corporate maneuverings alone can't reverse consumer shifts. And the S&P 500 futures gain. Bond yields rise further right there. Let's go ahead. We'll look at our futures real quick and see what's going on. And let's just see. Here is our oh, there they are. The indices right there. That's what I was trying to get to. And they are kind of stepping down, all these guys. There's our Dow Jones, S&P, and NASDAQ right here. They do look like they might have had a little bottom, and we can run up and down a little bit. And again, I do think we have a little bit of a setup period. That Russell looks like it could pull back. Here's our VIX right here, and we'll open that up and take a look at it and see what that looks like. And let's see what our VIX is doing right here. It is. It just slowly, it just keeps pulling back, jumping up a little bit. It's just going to follow. There's our spike up. We'll have that pullback, and it's just slowly doing that because it's in a bullish channel. So it is not looking bad, that's for sure. Here's our energy right here. Oil and gas, obviously, have been looking good. A little bit of pullback today, nothing crazy right there. And you know your natural gas and heating oil are going to heat up because it's going to be winter time soon. So, you know, that's going to happen. Here's our bonds right here. 30-year bond, they're way down there. That's way down there. Honestly, it's it looks like it's trying to make that little base to run back up. Your 10-year note has been stair-stepping down. That's doing the same thing. So, yeah, you might get a little more pullback, and then they'll start going back up again. And let's see what's going on with these guys. Anything lumber's way down there. Remember how high that got not long ago, but also during COVID, it was crazy. And coffee's been expensive right there. So there you go with that. And let's see what else is going on. Orange juice and cotton just hanging out. Let's look at our metals right here because gold and silver have been running up. And that copper is looking good. Palladium, platinum, all the metals are looking pretty good right there. And again, our meats, I'm telling you, the hogs, look at them, just continue to go up there. And these feeder cattle are getting topped out. I don't know what the heck is going on with our cattle, but these things are going to dip. Maybe prices will actually dip down right there. And Luis Rodriguez, I did look real quick. I couldn't tell if we both had it on there or not. So I'll look again real quick. And that is the GRYP he's talking about is now ABTC this morning. So, and here's a couple more of your grains. I don't really go through too much of them, but canola right there getting bottomed out. But yeah, just interesting. I do love the fit. This has all that stuff right now. And let's look at our crypto right here, 111 at Bitcoin. And these things are getting set up, guys. And look at Bitcoin crawling up hardcore. It is probably going to hit the 20. Have a little more pullback one more time, and then it's going to get ripping. Ethereum's trying to get ready, and it's just going to do a little curl up again. These things are going to stay in the channel for a week or two. Solana looking pretty good, though. That one keeps rolling up there and going higher, so that's nice. And Ripple's getting set up right there, guys. So watch Ripple get ready to rip. And let's see what Doge is doing right here. That thing doesn't look too bad. It looks like it could run up a little bit. And Cardano is getting set up as well, so that one's not too bad. How about Stellar right here? That thing is bouncing back up. Stellar will be a stellar one. That should be a pretty good one. And Chainlink obviously should be a pretty good one, and has been running up for us. And let's look at that optimism, and let's see what that's doing, because that was curling up yesterday and not looking bad right there. I'll take a look and see what our ETF is doing this morning. It's still at a it's right on. It was just at over 6,000 market cap. Now it's at 598. So I guess somebody was selling it off or something. I don't know what was going on, but it is being traded, so that's a good thing. It's got some volume and action. It says when we type that in, it says ABTC right there, ABT Building Products. So that's what they named it, and pretty wild right there. I'm not gonna lie, because this is the Trump crypto one. This was Griffin right here, and now all of a sudden it's called ABT Building Products Corporation. Not sure, but it's now a capital market, and they're going to get involved in the crypto in here. So this will become a treasury as well, and all these things are going to be crazy. Just watch. This one's going to pull back a little bit, and it's doing a 1-for-5 split there today too. So I didn't even know it was split and why it was changing its name, but it did. And there you go, or it is going to split today, I guess. So let's wait and see what it does as it opens up its new stock ticker. And it should be pretty active, I would agree, right there, being one of the Trump family companies. And so there you go with that. STI running up pretty big this morning. GEG was running up as well. Cint right there running up. Syntax Technologies, that was running up. And let's see what else is going on over here today. That Nubaru right there. And there's our Mullen. It's just disguised as Bollinger Innovations, BINI now, and STI. Ugro was running up there. Swim was swimming up, it looks like, and looks like it was moving along. AEI we talked about, and there's that GEG. And XTT right here. Didn't we see that the other day? What's it doing? That is making some room down there. We have to keep an eye on this Next Technology Holdings, because that's down there looking pretty decent. And there is your Raya right there, just down a little bit. And we'll see if that can get out of the basement again. They do have a reverse split vote coming up. And, it'll probably reverse split too. And then it'll be a great opportunity. If it looks good here, it's run up a little bit, it will get good. So we will be keeping an eye on that. And the video right here is looking pretty bullish, actually. To get set up way down there, good pullback on it. IXHL, just a little healthy pullback right there. Let's see, Plug right here had been pulling back, but that's getting set up in IPDN, running up there, but not a whole lot going on as we get set up here. STI and a lot of the same ones are probably going to be up here. MI, so yeah, PAVS, we were talking about that earlier. And let's see what else. There's CJet. That looks like it took a big old dip down. That one went crashing, so we'll have to watch that one in a few days to see what it's up to. And there you go, guys. I'd say that's a pretty good pre-market review right there. I think we did rock and roll through everything. We did our Jolie's jumpers. We did our SPY Mag 7 big caps. All them guys to see what they look like. Talked about some news. Went through the scanners and did all the everything else. And Laptop Travel just got back from STI, and that thing was cruising there. And again, that was in the Discord popping up. It looks like it's going to continue to run up right now, Laptop Travel. So Yeah, that thing's pretty nutty at the moment. It's just jumping around. So keep an eye on that right there. And there you go. Nice call on that laptop travel. That's a beauty. And we will all be doing 4 a.m. Warrior style next week. So I will be up and moving with you guys, and we'll be crushing all them together and have some fun. So there you go. And URG. Let's look at that one real quick, see what that's doing. Your energy, that was popping up a uranium one right there. And that was moving along, and let's see what the uranium ones look like. That bottomed out. DNN, well, that's we know Denson Mines is the uranium one. We talk about that. EU, and these aren't looking bad right here actually. So I'll be keeping an eye. Obviously, that popped up. Roy's popping up in UUU right there. Looks like it's ready to run. So we'll keep an eye on some uranium ones as well. But there you go, everybody. I'd say that's a pretty good pre-market review. Crypto is just getting set up, probably has a week or two along with the market, guys. I'm telling you, these things are going to get wild, and I can't wait. So just look for your good opportunities, your dips right here. And obviously your Apple and Google are cruising along this morning. So they are looking good right now and popped up there. So be careful chasing them, but they were great runs and good calls right there. And again, we'll look at the rest of the I'll keep an eye on the Mag 7 and everything. We went through the ETFs yesterday. And obviously, if they do want to pull back, that's the way we want to play them, is the ETF bears. But this morning, it looks pretty good. They're jumping up there, and it's just going to be some healthy little easy pullback, making room on these charts, guys. So these things are staying bullish. The market's going to be ripping. And when is that Fed meeting? I forget when it is. Is it like around the 19th or something? What day is that? That's a Friday. I don't know. It could be. I have no idea. But I know it's just in the middle of the month right there somewhere. And you'll see a rate change, because I've been looking at this thing on Polymarket, and there is no way that thing is jumping off a cliff up there. You can see it's looking pretty hefty now, and you'll get some curl up, but it's just going to bounce around. I don't think that you're going to see a complete turnaround right there. So it looks like that's 0.25. It's coming right there. And there you go, everybody. I would say that's a fun pre-market review. Any questions, please shoot me a message on X. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence and be sure to trade smart and lock in those profits right there. The Discord picks were pretty nice. Laptop travel killing it at 4 a.m. And we also all do our thing in there and just destroy it. So CIFR was still up a little bit, and we talked about that the other day on the show. So there you go. It's Cypher Mining. So there you are, everybody, and a lot of good setups happening here. We just had to see what it really wanted to do yesterday, and I didn't think that pullback was going to be too hardcore, but we're just going to see a little slight pullback here, nice and easy. And so just catch these bottoms, look for any dip opportunities, because the market's going to get set up and get ripping here. So that's what we're looking at, and we'll be keeping an eye on things. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Be sure to follow along on X and YouTube and Instagram and all that good stuff, and get ahead and like it and like the show and all that. So thanks again. I'll keep you guys posted. I'll be in the Discord. We'll be trading hardcore, and I'm telling you, this market's getting set up for us perfectly. So it's going to get fun. I can tell you that right now. Like PHUN, that thing looks like it's going to get fun as well. So look at that thing just sitting right there on that trend line, ready to bounce off that MACD. So there you go, everybody. And you guys have a great day. And again, be sure to lock in those profits and trade smart. Goodbye. Good luck. See you later. And have a great day, everyone.